Welcome back everybody to another video. My name is Fabio, and today I thought it would be fun if we could review some of my older demo reels. I kept pretty much most of my demo reels because I wanted to see the progression that I've made. I have my very first one. We can start from my very first reel all the way to my most recent one, or the ones that have gotten me some jobs. And you guys can see the difference, see what I've changed, see what I've fixed, and hopefully it can help you when you're creating your own demo reels. Okay, wow, here we go. So this is the very first demo reel I ever made. I made everything pretty much in TV Paint and Sketchbook. I'll play it for you, and then we can talk about it after.
Now they tell me that I paid my debt to society.
Funny, I never got a check.
So basically, this was all the work that I had. You know how they say put your best work forward? I only had this. There was nothing else I could put on my reel, and I put this together because one of our friends, he worked at a bar that we would go to. He wanted to critique some of my stuff. So I knew this wasn't up to industry standard, but I also needed to know where I stood in terms of how close or how far I was from hitting that goal. And what did he say? He tore this demo reel to shreds. You know, I knew it wasn't great, but I didn't think it was that bad. And he literally sat on the phone with me for 3 hours talking about this reel. So first thing he said, get rid of this title card and this little animation. I kind of like it, but he told me to get rid of it because you don't really need it. Save the animation for inside the demo reel. It's just unnecessary. Remember, he hated these title cards that come forward, and see how there's so much information on them in such a short period of time. He told me to just take out the software I animated in, where I got it from, take that out, just put the top, just put the dialogue and acting, and don't make it come forward. Putting rough clips in your demo reel like this, definitely not the best idea, especially when, if you look at the lip sync, it's okay, but it's not on ones. The lip sync was on 4s here, or 3s, and you never want to have that. Here, I was actually very happy with this piece, but he hated this piece the most because there's really nothing, there's no reason for it to be there, right? It's supposed to be a character take, but there's no context, right? What is he looking at? Is he happy, sad? Why does he do that take? So he said it was a good drawing, but just there was no acting, no emotion behind it, and that's why he didn't like this piece. This actually, I did this in Sketchbook. It took me like weeks to do. It took me so long, I remember. And he actually, this was the best, I think the strongest piece in this reel. The problem was, and I still kind of have trouble with this to this day, is the end. We'll play that again. Right, see, he just kind of comes to a stop. There's no settle, no overshoot, especially after all this movement, he kind of just boop, stops. This short film actually just came out like last year, 2020, and the lady, my professor who animates these kinds of films, she is really great. She has a lot of great like indie style short films, and she wins a lot of awards in Mexico City. She's pretty big there, so check her out. I can link her to the description, her studio. She's really awesome. It's actually crazy how I remember this so vividly. It's kind of cool. But you know what, that wasn't as painful as I thought rewatching this. Let's go to my next one now. Wow. Jeez, I don't know what I was thinking with this pink. But see, I already cleaned it up. There's no animation, just a picture of me and my contact info.
I'm sick of living like a peasant. Look at this filth.
I sent this reel back to the same guy, right? I would send in my reel, he would give me feedback, I would go and fix it, and then send it back to him. Pink, he told me to change this, didn't like it. These traditional pieces were good, but if you're looking to get into TV animation, you should kind of lead with using cutout animation. So if you have a nice traditional piece, maybe throw it at the end of your reel, not at the beginning like this. And the thing about walks and runs, I put these in because I was a self-taught animator, right? I wanted to show them that I knew the basics, but if you're going to school, you probably have better pieces to put. So try and focus more on acting pieces rather than just showing a cycle. You know, again, you can put these at the end, but don't lead with them. Like, this is probably the best piece in the reel because it shows some movement and some acting, right? It's a setting, he's hot, he's a traveler. I should have put this first, I think. Already you can see a little bit of the progression, but it's still not quite at the level that a studio would be looking for. So I still wasn't sending these out to any studios yet. There was still quite a bit of work to go. Okay, moving ahead. Here we are. So this is October 2018. I think at this point I was teaching abroad in Korea because I needed a year to kind of make some money and really get serious about my demo reel. So that was actually that was a really fun year. So right away, notice I changed the pink.
In my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with.
You can't go to the boulder's blade. It's a vampire hunter. Yeah, but vampires love Wesley Snipes, so
No, it's inappropriate. Kind of taking a liking to it, so I'm gonna rule Earth.
So see how I'm kind of switching it now? I have my rigs up front, my traditional stuff at the end. We're almost there. We're getting to that level where studios can start to see something, see some potential, right? And that's all you can really ask. So I think at this point, I was getting a few replies from studios and I was getting sent some animation tests, which I was doing horribly on because the scenes were way more complex than what I was working with here. But again, we have to start somewhere. Yes, this is it. So this was January 2019. This is the reel I sent out. Got my first job offer at Snapchat, working at Bitmoji. So let's see. I don't think too much has changed actually.
In my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood. That's the kind of person that's worth sticking with.
See how I started with character acting, and unlike my first reel, there's always context to each of these shots, right? Like he runs in, looks behind him, looks at the hole, and then jumps after he thinks about it, right? So those little things really help show that you're consciously thinking about acting in your scenes. So again, right, putting your best pieces forward, not all of your pieces now. Because once you get into a studio, pretty much the problem about not having enough work is gone because you'll be animating every day, and as long as you save your shots at the end, you'll have a whole bunch of shots to choose from. Okay. So already way more detail put into the color card. I use canva.com. They have so many great templates that you can use if you're looking to make a nice a nice name card for your reel.
We've got the world's greatest deli growing out of the ground, and you're eating... What are you eating?
Let's just say it has everything a healthy pup needs.
Wait, dog food?
Fun. Ew, Abe, you stepped in something.
Ha! Mom said we'd never amount to anything. Well, look who's worth 3 AA batteries now.
Right, but as a zoologist with a background in organic chemistry,
Yeah, okay, Anna, I didn't realize zookeepers were experts on getting buffed. I have boobs! This is Agnes Fletcher, 87 years old. And guess what, Chip? She lost her life savings in one of your pyramid schemes. Stop that!
Oh, that doesn't look good.
And as I get more shots, I spend less time with those title cards, right? I didn't even put any title cards, and if you notice, there's no like walk cycles or jump cycles. It's all straight acting scenes that I have. So once you get into a studio, it's pretty easy to get content for your reel actually. The thing is though, all these scenes, there are a lot more that I have that are actually better, but because this show hasn't aired yet, I can't put them on my reel. So just be careful with your studio because you don't want to breach that privacy contract. So ask your supervisor if you're unsure which scenes you should be putting in your reel because you don't want to get in any trouble. This was over the span of like 3 years, right? I started 2017 and in December 2020, I was already working in a studio. So a lot of improvement can happen in such a small amount of time if you really work at it. So that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, right? So remember, it's not really about where you start, but the progression that you make as you go down your animation journey, right? So we all gotta start somewhere. Keep practicing, don't get discouraged. So thanks everybody for watching. Always appreciate the support. Get out there, have some fun, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Happy animating.